So we talked a lot about not letting a 3 to 6 month dip or forecast worry anyone. Whereas if you've got a good pipeline of work, which most of our clients do, it's about getting ready for the future. And if there's opportunities coming where you can hire or approach or bring in good senior or mid-level staff into your business to bolster you for the next phase of growth, the majority of our clients and who are on the call today, who we're talking to, are like, yep, that's what we're preparing for. Hi there, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Today I want to answer the question, is the market turning? So we are fresh off a really insightful conversation with all of our boardroom mastermind members. So everyone who's in boardroom doing over 2 million per year, join our mastermind group. So we just had a session today where everyone who was on the call pitched in and talked about their market sector, how it's been going over the last sort of 2 or 3 months, as well as their thoughts or views on where their market sector is going over the next sort of 12 and 24 months. And what I thought I would do is go over my notes and really condense down for you a really nice summary of where really smart people who are in this area and in this arena all the time think the market is going. And obviously I open this conversation with, this is not financial advice and we don't have a crystal ball. But what I thought would be really nice was, it was an amazing conversation. It was really nice to hear people from the coal industry, the residential space, archaeology, heritage, industrial, the surveying space, town planning, all those different areas talking about, where their market's going. We talked a lot about government input in terms of what influences these market sectors, housing crisis, housing shortage leading to all these sorts of things, interest rates. It was a really, really insightful conversation. So what I've tried to do today is really distill down a nice summary for you. So depending on which area you're in and which industry that you play in, giving you a bit of an insight into where, again, not financial advice, but where, from our conversation today, where we think the markets are going to play out over the next sort of 12 and 24 months. So overarchingly, things are really positive. I would say that as I'm looking through my notes, preparing for this recording of this episode, that there's a really positive sentiment amongst all of our clients that next year's going to be a really exciting year, and the year after as well. There's, I would say, a common sentiment. The last sort of, let's call it 3 or 4 months, there's been a bit of a dip in terms of inquiry, in terms of requests for fee proposals. There's been a slight change in sentiment amongst clients in terms of scrutinizing fee proposals a bit more, being a bit tighter around budgeting and that sort of thing. And that kind of came across a lot of different sectors and from a lot of our different clients. And I'll talk about opportunities in a second, but the general consensus is that that's a short-term blip, and that we're going to come through this period, a 3 to 4 month period of the things starting to tighten a bit into the new year, where things are going to, come out really, really quite strong. So let's dive in. Let's talk about, and again, we didn't have everyone on the call today, so we don't have everyone from every market sector. So what I've done is tried to really summarize where, from the people, from our members who are on the call, the sectors, and summarize where they think things are heading. So we had a mechanical engineering business owner who plays a lot in the coal and the mining space, talking a lot about, over the last 3 or 4 months, he's really seen clients, yes, tightening the screws a little bit on finances and funding, requesting for more information and fee proposals, whereas in his words, 6 to 8 months ago, didn't matter about the cost, it was more just get it done. So he sort of said over the last sort of 3 to 4 months, seeing a slight tightening of spending, more inquiry, or more scrutiny over fee proposals and that sort of stuff. But again, his view is that's going to be short term. There's still a lot of great sentiment in the market, in the mining and the coal space, and there's going to be a lot more work happening next year. Land subdivision or land development in terms of developers, and this was across engineering, town planning, surveying. Again, the general sentiment from our members was it's been a very, very busy year. The last 3 or 4 months, there's been a slight dip in construction, and construction is an interesting section. I'll talk about that in a second, because that's probably one of the areas that's hurting the most at the moment, and we'll still go through a bit of, there's still some things that are affecting the construction industry, which I won't talk about, but some things affecting the construction industry which will have flow-on effects to consultancies who service that space. For example, we've got a member who was on the call today. They do a lot of work for DNC contractors in the industrial space, and they've noticed a big shift in requests for fee proposals and inquiries and that sort of stuff. So back to the land subdivision space, again, there's this interesting dichotomy that's happening at the moment where there's, like across Australia, this housing crisis or this housing shortage, but because the cost of construction is still quite high, there's a pullback or a sentiment from property developers to actually push the button on building sites because the feasibilities still don't stack up. We had a really interesting conversation about the correction in the housing market in terms of even just some raw numbers from one of our clients. He was sort of saying 12 months ago, a block of land, I think he was saying in New South Wales was, 12 months ago was going for 550. He's recently redone a whole bunch of feasibilities for his clients, and those blocks of land are now going for 450. So there has been a correction happening in that market already in terms of the sale price of those houses or those blocks of land, which is then flowing on to, a bit of a weak sentiment in the market in terms of people not buying into that space, which flows on to construction not happening because developers are not pushing the buttons because the feasibilities don't yet stack up. So what was interesting though is one of our members was saying that in the DA space, like getting blocks of land and developments and subdivisions ready, there's been a flurry of activity, which to him suggests that from his developer clients, that there's a view that it's going to be a big rebound and things are going to be very, very busy next year. So while there's not a lot happening in the construction space now, like cost of sales, cost of construction, that sort of thing, that there's going to be some corrections, and that's going to there's going to be a really strong movement into that space in the new year. So developers are starting to land bank a bit, starting to do more feasibility, starting to buy up opportunities because of the depressed market and the cost of land, and are starting to kind of, in his words, land bank and start to get ready for this next uptake. So again, slight dip in the land subspace, but a very, very positive sentiment coming into the new year. We talked a lot, so in the industrial space, again, slight dip in terms of inquiry, construction costs, that sort of stuff, which I've already covered. But again, in the words of one or two of our clients, actually, that has been one of the strongest performers for them over this last 3 months in terms of inquiries and getting ready for industrial subdivisions to happen in terms of actually cutting up the land and turning big blocks of land into smaller big blocks of land for industrial sheds and warehouses and that sort of stuff to go on there. Surveying space still really, really strong, has been strong all this year, particularly in New South Wales, Melbourne, that sort of area, and will just continue into the new year in terms of, like, according to one of my clients, cannot find enough surveyors at the moment to meet the demands of his workload. One of the other things, heritage archaeology space going ballistic, no signs of slowing down at all. One of our clients in the heritage and archaeology space is just, they're growing significantly and exponentially, and no signs of that slowing down at all. We talked a lot about opportunities in this market at the moment because there is some of the bigger companies letting go of staff because they've taken on too many overheads. We talked at the moment, there are significantly better opportunities to snap up great senior and mid-level staff coming out of, and even if they're not coming out of the bigger corporates, being able to approach those people and offer them at some of them are getting quite disgruntled and that sort of thing. Being in those bigger corporate companies, really great opportunities at the moment to hire good staff, getting good senior to mid-level staff into the business to set your businesses up for this next phase of growth. So we talked a lot about not letting a 3 to 6 month dip or forecast worry anyone. Whereas if you've got a good pipeline of work, which most of our clients do, it's about getting ready for the future. And if there's opportunities coming where you can hire or approach or bring in good senior or mid-level staff into your business to bolster you for the next phase of growth, the majority of our clients and who were on the call today, who we're talking to, are like, yep, that's what we're preparing for. One of our clients, they've just brought on a senior, or 2 seniors, I think, and a mid-level engineer to just get ready for this next phase of growth because, there's opportunities to hire these individuals now who are either getting frustrated in the bigger end of town, or are wanting a different lifestyle that obviously the bigger end of town can't offer. So, look, like I said, we didn't cover all market sectors and all areas today on our conversation, but I thought it would just be nice to kind of give you an update from a range of people. And again, this is the benefit of the boardroom community. Everyone's talking, everyone's sharing information. And there's people there today going, aha, now I need to make a decision about where I shift my business. Well, thank you for that. Again, just the power of being around really smart people. So what I thought I'd do is just summarize, from our members where the market has been going, where it's going to go into the future. Again, not financial advice, and we don't have a crystal ball, but in general, bit of a dip that has just occurred, or we're going through that at the moment, maybe into the run into Christmas. But again, the sentiment is that it's going to be very, very strong next year as things start to rebound, and there's just plenty of work on the horizon. So things are looking really, really exciting for 2025. Yeah, hope that helps. Just wanted to share that information from our conversation today with all of our boardroom mastermind members. So if you'd like to keep doing this journey on your own, we have a ton of free resources where you can keep doing it on your own. But if you'd like some help, if you'd like to join our community, if you'd like to be part of an amazing community, be on the calls like we had today, I'd love to invite you to become a member of our boardroom coaching program. So if that's you, if you're a business owner of an engineering, town planning, surveying, or architecture consultancy, I'd love to have a chat with you about how we can help you build your business faster. Have an amazing day.